And he's not happy. Look at him. Lanier is not happy.
Well, and
Both players.
Sam looks zoned in. He's dialed in. Look at his eyes.
It's his best chance.
Wow.
What's happening?
He's talking to himself, you know. I mean,
It felt like that, right?
It felt like this. I mean, I think everybody is doing it.
Sometimes there's an audience. There's no audience.
Not
But
sure about
sometimes
that.
there's an audience.
What happened?
It's something about the clock.
What happened?
Maybe he talked actually to the arbiter.
He did talk to the arbiter,
Maybe.
but there's something.
About the clock? Something?
So they have to... Interesting. We will have to find out.
We are under a
Oh,
tornado
my
warning,
goodness.
apparently. They're going
We
to
are
the
taking
shelter.
a pause here in St. Louis because a tornado warning has been issued. There's an alert, and
it's
the
not a
players
joke.
have to go to a shelter. And here in St. Louis, a lot of the buildings are made with shelters specifically because
Of tornadoes.
of tornadoes.
Oh, wow.
I never thought about
I have
it.
been
Yes, sir.
in St. Louis twice where we've had tornado warnings. Let's make it a third time.
What about us? Shall we also go to the shelter, or this building is strong enough?
We are secure. You're here to protect my person. Thank you, by the way. And, wow.
We're fine.
As the players are taking
Never
a break,
happened to...
So since we don't have any games to commentate on, what are we going to do now?
Let's play
Like a
some
push-up
games.
competition or something like that? What are we going to do?
There was in Indonesia an earthquake warning where
Yes.
all of the players stopped during the earthquake, and Ron Henley
Yes.
was playing in the tournament against Tony Miles, and he was nervous about the game. It was a terrible game with
Yes.
all kinds of complications. The earthquake came, and they had to huddle in sheltered conditions. And it gave him a time to think about the game and
course.
realize the complications weren't complex at all, and that he was winning.
Wow.
And so he came
Exactly.
happily.
What Chris Bird needs to do right now is make sure that none of the players get in
Use
contact with
actually-
any of their friends, any of their phones,
True.
anything of that nature, right?
True.
They just need to go straight into the shelter. Chris Bird, bite their hands, you know.
No, and it's hard to do, actually.
Has it happened to you in your experience of an emergency stop because
Yes.
of a fire?
No, I had a
Fire
very,
alarm?
very funny story. Like I
Please.
came to Mexico in 2012. We had a ladies' event there, really nice event, and it's my first time in Mexico. I just arrived, and I don't remember the name of the journalist who told me, like, you should know that we have earthquakes every day here in Mexico. So I'm coming here for the last 12 years. Don't worry if you feel during the night that
ground is
something is
shaking.
happening. Don't worry, it's just normal, small earthquakes. It's
expect
okay.
it.
And so I go to sleep my first night, and then I wake up because my bed is simply moving, you know, just shaking, and I hear people screaming and everybody's running. And I was on the first floor. I was lucky. The hotel had 15 floors. And I'm like, okay, like he told me it's fine, but it really doesn't feel fine. But I try not to worry. I still took my passport. I put my clothes on. I hear people running. I don't know, it stopped after some time. And then next day we meet at breakfast. And of course, all players are shocked because those who stayed on the 11th floor, I remember Sofiko Goremishvili, the wife of Vanish Girish, she told me that all her stuff was down on the floor, and it was
Right.
just crazy things were happening. So it turned out to be 6 degrees, one of the biggest
on
earthquake.
the Richter scale.
Yes,
6.
in Mexico. And the journalist, he looked at me and said, never happened before. I'm shocked. Sorry that I told you this the
Right.
day before.
But it was good
crazy.
because you weren't nervous
Yeah,
about
I
it.
was just like, I should be probably nervous, but I'm not because he said it's fine.
It's normal.
Yes.
It's normal. I had a funny. I have lots, but I had a funny experience like that. I was the second with Michael Adams, and he was playing a match against Hydra, the
Okay. This
chess
program here.
program computer. And the problem, it was a fire, and we all had to go into the parking lot, and we're just hanging out in the parking lot, waiting for the emergency and the fire department to say everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking to ourselves in the parking lot, and we were saying, Well, the computer was completely unaffected by the fire alarm. It didn't have to do anything. How about you, Christian? Any emergencies ever happen in your career? Like
Unfortunately,
something
really
like-
bad emergencies.
Oh, no.
Yes, people dying actually in the
Oh.
playing hall. Yes, unfortunately.
Really?
What?
Twice for me it happened. One at the tournament in Greece, one at tournament in San Francisco.
Ah, maybe
What
I
were the
played
tournaments, first of all?
I don't remember.
Okay, okay.
One of them was in
Acropolis
Greece.
in Greece. I played in the
Acropolis,
same
I believe
tournament.
it
Yes, I
was.
know this event.
Yes, that was one of them, and then another one in the Bay Area.
What happened in Greece, please? Acropolis.
Somebody
So-
just collapsed.
Yes, yes, it was
Someone
heart
just
attack. It
collapsed,
was
and in
heart
fact,
attack.
we had a doctor on
He
site.
played against
And
the
he was
doctor.
playing against the doctor. Exactly.
Yes, he had his only chance to be saved
And
because he played against
unfortunately,
doctor. Yes.
he was not saved, and the doctor actually withdrew from the tournament. He couldn't focus after that anymore.
Right.
He was like, "I'm done with this tournament."
Yeah, and we had a delay for one day. Actually, I
Yes.
didn't know, Christian, you were playing there.
I was
It's-
playing there. Yeah, I played that tournament.
In Frisco, what happened to you in Frisco?
In Frisco, actually, Emory Tate passed
During the tournament?
Yes, yes.
My goodness.
So I've, I've had,
Do you realize you're bad luck?
maybe I'm bad luck. Maybe I'm bad luck. Yes. Oh,
I'm
my
not going to
goodness.
play in a tournament with Christian. This guy.
That's why also I don't play that often. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness. I know, I think it was Tromso. I was
Yes,
not
it
there.
was Tromsø, yes.
The
bomb track.
Olympiad.
I know what you are talking
but
about.
there you have 3,000
Yeah.
players. Somebody having a health emergency isn't
Look, chess is a dangerous
unexpected.
sport.
No, but
Chess
yeah,
is a
sir.
really dangerous sport.
Can I ask you something? Normally,
Please.
you play when you play chess. Sometimes you feel not good. You
Right.
feel sick, but
even.
whatever happens, like I don't know how can you stop the game. You will
Right.
feel really bad. You will have headache, but you will never actually stop until
you
you
don't
fall
stop
down
the
from the chair.
Right.
Actually, you will keep playing. That's a
Right.
thing which we were taught from I don't know childhood.
Right.
So it's crazy what's going on. I mean, with chess players, it's just people don't realize that sometimes we're just normal human beings, and the game lasts 6-7 hours sometimes, and we still keep playing no matter what in any
Exactly.
conditions.
But weather delay, that's a
That's-
first.
That's
That's actually a
different.
first. I know it happened in the 2014 Sinquefield Cup. They had this type of thunderstorm, but they didn't stop the games. There was no.
We've had hail.
Hail. That was
Right.
Yes. That was the extent of it.
And it was a pause just because of
Not
the
a
noise
tornado.
made.
I mean, a tornado is a serious thing.
I was in an Olympiad in Kalmykia. It was the last round, and the United States was playing against China, and England. Pardon me, Timon. The Dutch were playing, I think, against Russia. It was really. It was great. All the medals were up for grabs, and the U.S. was in contention, and we were playing against China, and it seemed like that particular day, the hall was packed, like just completely ridiculously full of people, and it turns out to be like one of the hottest days of the year. So it was a hot day. It was packed. Jan Timman. He needs to make a draw, which is a very important result for his team as well as for us, and he's making a draw, and Asmai Parashvili collapsed. He just fainted. Oh. He just fainted because it was so hot.
Yeah.
And Timman was just, the
Where's
guy
my wallet?
collapsed, and his clock is ticking. It was amazing, and wow, crazy.
And it does seem like we might have some content, some special content for our viewers. We will have a music series special production. We have Brian Woods. Take a look.
We're going to be back.
After tornado.